What's up, guys? Today we're playing Epic 7, and we are going to look at episode 4, 1010, and we are going to kill the boss. Now, I know there are a lot of different strategies online. I tried them, and they did not work for me. So, I developed my own strategy. This is what I used. It's basically a counter team. Now, I'm going to say Senya pretty useless here. She did not work for me, so any knight will do. But let's go in and look at the stats and how we accomplish this today. To start, we're going to look at the boss himself. Now, we cannot use poison, and we cannot use Daydream Joker to do more damage. So you're going to want to come in with other damaging artifacts that's not considered Daydream. Now, you can bring in a Daydream Joker, it will work, but it reduces that amount of damage that he takes proportional to the max health. The next is that we have the very last line under Supreme Authority. This means that after an enemy uses a soul burn, dispels dark aura. It took me forever to figure out how to get my dark aura down. Now you can one-shot the boss. If you have a good one-shot team that you're using for arena, you can come in and you can take the very first turn. It's super end game gear, but it is possible to do. I personally don't have the characters built, and I don't want to switch around all my stuff in order to finalize and beat this boss. It seems like a ton of work, right? But this is how you do it. The next thing is that we look at the ad. And what the ad says is that after being attacked, gives 3 souls. Now, it does not work on a counter attack or an extra attack. So if you have heroes that do AoE, then that's going to give you souls and hit the boss, and you're going to be able to sort of do 2 things at one time. If you have someone who has an S1 coming up, then make sure that you're hitting this lamp to get your souls so that you don't stack up too many of the dark aura. But that's basically it. Everything else, super easy. Don't worry about it. He's not a complicated boss as long as you know what to do with these 2 things. So let's take a moment and look at what the team is and how it works. So the very first thing is I picked all units who can counter attack, who are a little bit on the slower side, so I would say 200 speed or less. Now the way that this works is we have lots of ads on the enemy, we have the boss who takes lots of turns, and so when he goes, I'm hoping for RNG, and then we're just going to get counter, 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 and then we can hit the boss down. We do have several defense breaks from Rem and also from Seaside Bologna, and we have AoEs. Now, this is very important because we want to hit the ad on our turn, and we're able to generate souls that way. Also important is that most of these heroes have a 1 soul burn on one of their skills. So that means that if I had to get rid of the dark aura, that I have a means to do so. Seaside Bologna, I think that is better to run on a attack build with defense and health. She would last much longer. You might even put her onto a light lifesteal set if you have it. But this is my Wyvern Seaside. She's meant to one-shot the first wave of Wyvern. And she worked well here. She does a ton of damage. She totally destroys the ads. She was really fantastic. And so this is the build that I used for that. The Rem build is also very similar. She is not a great Rem. I almost never use Rem at all. Maybe I should, but I just don't farm a bunch of these counter sets, and so I never use her. You know, people love Rem. If you have a great Rem, she'll do really well for you. But this is the Rem that I ended up using. I think that if you're going to use a Rem, you need her to be pretty good damage and pretty good bulk. She needs some of everything except for speed and effectiveness and effect resist. So I find her difficult to build. If you have a great one, then I think that she's going to do fantastic for you. She does so much damage, and she's able to do a defense break on her S1 which will help you to do more damage against the boss. I also used a Mercedes. I think that she will work better if you put her on a counter set. But again, I don't have counter sets. Maybe I should run more Banshee. But she'll work better on a counter set. I would say you want to have at least these stats. 1200 defense, 11,000 health, at least 3,500 attack, and you can get more if you have more imprints, and then run her pretty good on your crit chance and at least 255 on your crit damage, and she'll be fantastic for you. She does so much damage, and she has, again, that soul burn to increase damage on her S2, which was fantastic. Now, I want a knight in the front row, and that's because the boss will attack the knight if you have one on your team. For me, I used Senya. She didn't really do much. She was pretty much stunned the entire time, and so mostly all of her damage came from having, just from getting hit and reflecting some of that damage back. So this is the Senya I use. I have built her recently because she's been a really big meta in the arena. But, mine is just not performing the way that some really good Senyas perform. So I don't know. Maybe I have too much bulk and not enough attack. But I'm going to be working on Senya to see kind of what I can get out of her. Some Senyas are amazing. And if you have an amazing Senya, I think she'll do okay. But pretty much any knight will work. Fallen Cecilia, Eaton, I think these are going to be the best ones for you, simply because they're going to give you the most protection, and then you'll be able to live longer with your heroes that are counter-attacking. She dies fairly early, if I remember right. So not a big influence on the game, but this is the one that I used, and she's okay-ish. Still hot, though. Really amazing character design. I like this one a lot.
This should do it.
Command me. Call. Unveil your eye of terror. 気をつけてください。Now, bring it on. I thought this could be fun. Now I'm getting bored. I won't go easy on you. そろそろ始めましょうか。始めます。Call. Mercedes, preparation complete. Enemies approaching. I can hear them. Vengeful voices. I'll accept your duel.
There is no salvation for you.
It's too late to back out now. I will release my power. Obey me. Obey me. デモがお相手します。
to vain hope. How primitive.
Command me. Blaze.
レムの出番ですね。
Try to stop me.
Obey me. Run before it's too late. Call. Mercedes, preparation complete.
I'm curious. How much can you trifle creatures of doom?
We still have hope. It'll all be over in the blink of an eye. I will release my power. Obey me. Call. Mercedes, preparation complete. Beyond the abyss, to the ends of futility.
Be not afraid. It is all over. You'll return to nothingness.